What is up, guys? It is the Bluebloods here, and you guys have been fiending for some more Jackson State interviews. And I have one of the faces of the new offensive line. I know a lot of people are excited to see what he has on campus. A former all district selection out of the state of Louisiana as a senior in high school, former ULM offensive lineman. Zach Breaux is with us today. Zach, I appreciate you joining me.
Man, thank you for having me on the show, man. It's good to be with y'all.
Absolutely, man. So let's go way back, man. I know you spent a lot of time at ULM. You're now at Jackson State, but let's go back to high school, man. All district selection of at the 5A level in the state of Louisiana. Which teams were recruiting you the hardest out of high school, and what was that experience like for you?
Well, out of high school, I was a guard. So I was mainly a guard. I was kind of a different kind of player. I was like 330. At one point, I had got real big, got up to like 340s, 350s, but I was like a power, like a big guard, used to pulling and stuff. So, like, as we got into the modern era, like teams started to look for those smaller, faster offensive linemen that could pass block. So like high school recruited for me, it wasn't really many schools. Some schools in the SWAC did. Jackson State did offer me out of high school. ULM, Southern Miss were the two FBS offers I had, and I had looks from some other schools like Tulane and Lafayette and stuff. But really, ULM was the only school around when it got towards the end of my recruiting process. So that's what I stuck with, and it was a pretty good decision, I think.
Absolutely, man. So you spend multiple years at ULM. You decide to leave though this past season. So what were some of the factors that led you to that decision to transfer from ULM?
Well, when I got to ULM, I was a guard at first, and then as I lost weight and became a better player, I asked my coach, could I try out center? And so I started playing center, and I was a backup, and then eventually came into the starting role, 2020 year, and I kind of developed into that position. And it's something I started in college, so it's really been a good journey just seeing myself develop as a center. But what made me end up leaving ULM is just, I'm graduating. I've been here 4 years. I got love for all the coaches in the program and stuff. But, I just thought it was time for, new scenery, somewhere that I can really play under a big fan base and some good coaches, and get exposed. Because although I started, in the 2020 season, 2021, I had 0 offensive snaps. So, I saw that as a sign, it's time to go and get somewhere where I'm needed, and wanted, and I can make an impact.
I like it, man. And so you mentioned you lose a bunch of weight, you switch positions, but outside of that, what were the biggest differences between your transfer portal recruiting process and your high school recruiting process?
Well, it's crazy, man, because with the portal, it's gonna make recruiting so different. Even for like a guy like me in high school, if I was in high school now, I might have not got any offers just because of how the portal is right now. So I think what the portal is doing is like a lot of people kind of don't like it because they feel like players can jump here and there. But I feel like, coaches are able to go to rival schools, in conference schools, high school, college, pro level while coaching. So I think, once your coach leaves your program, I think as a player, you got to have another option than just staying where you're at because it's no telling, that coach didn't recruit you. The new coach doesn't know you, so like you might be a good player and he might want to keep you, if there's no use for you and you don't fit into the scheme, the team, they might not. So I like the portal. I like where it's at. I think it's good that it gives players freedom, to explore their options, and that they don't just have to stay anywhere when they're not in a good situation, but the biggest difference was honestly, I feel like I got more. My high school recruiting was here and there. I got 6 offers over the span of a year and a half. But I mean, in the portal, obviously, you get 10, 12 offers within a few days, in a few weeks. So it's a little different, definitely. And like I had more film, I had college game film. So, coaches it's not like guessing what a high school kid can do, it's them seeing what you can do already, on that college level.
Oh man, I like it, and I agree with you completely. I mean, if coaches can get up and leave in the middle of the season like a Lincoln Riley did this year, there's no reason the players shouldn't be able to, have the freedom to do the same if it betters them. So I like that you went on that side of it as well. But we got to get to the decision why everybody's tuned in today, man. What was it about Jackson State that led you to want to end your career there?
Well, first, Jackson State, I mean, right now, what Coach Prime is doing with the program, it's like if you get a Jackson State offer, I'm not gonna say it's like getting a Power 5 offer, but you're getting a premier offer. Like if you see Jackson State on somebody's Twitter, they getting, that's like a big deal. So first of all, like just, being a part of something that's big, like he's putting the light on HBCUs, on some of the good things and the bad things, he's showing that there is talent on our level, a lot of great talent. He's trying to showcase that talent. So that's one thing, that's one reason I chose Jackson. And also I kind of lean towards HBCU for my second degree just because of my dad. He's a doctor and he got his second degree from an HBCU after attending the PWI. So I kind of wanted to follow his footsteps. So once I kind of narrowed down that I wanted to play in the SWAC, what made me choose Jackson is just the immediate opportunity to win a championship, the exposure, the community, the culture, and the coaches around the coaches that's around, But then also Coach Prime, I mean, like that's my football idol too. But when I made the decision, I had to take that out because I think Coach Prime the best player to ever touch the field, in my opinion. Everybody got their own opinion, but so I had to really take that out when I was making this choice. I had to make sure, like, I'm not just making it because I'm about to go play for my idol. It's because the fit is right, the coaches are right, everything around is right. So yeah.
Man, that's a great answer. There's going to be a lot of Jackson State fans that are going to get real pumped up about that answer too, man. But not only Coach Prom, the coaching staff has a lot of great coaches on it as well.
Yeah.
Which coaches from the staff were recruiting you the hardest from the portal?
Definitely Coach Markinson, the O-line coach. He came, I was able to meet him, a couple times and, like during the recruiting process and stuff. And then he was really excited about me because I don't like how it went. I kind of got in contact with like a DB coach or something, I think at first. And then I kind of like sent my highlight tape and did, it kind of went like that. And then he was just on the road one day and was able to see me right quick. And ever since then, Coach Markinson definitely kept up real good. I mean, I had a coach from UL-Monroe that's also there now. So when I got there, it was good to, see an old face too. And,
I mean, absolutely. And speaking of an old face, man, that Jackson State robbed ULM of like all their offensive linemen, man. How much did your former teammate Evan Henry play a role in your decision to come and play together one more time in Jackson State?
Hey, that's a good question, man. Evan, my boy, that's my dog, man. We were at ULM together. We started next to each other. So that's a guy, that's my guy. So when he entered the portal, he did in the middle of the season. So I was still, practicing, still doing everything. And so I was like, man, do I want to enter the portal? And I'm like, man, if I do, I definitely want to go to Jackson. But honestly, I thought there wasn't going to be any spots left for linemen by the time I entered, So I was like, man, if it happened, great, but it probably won't. Like, that's how I thought of it. So once I got the offer, it was kind of almost no question. And then once everything on the visit checked out and, I got to meet the coaches and know the O-line coach, it was good. But yeah, Evan, he recruited me a little bit, but he still let me make my choice though.
That's awesome, man. And the where I wanted to take that was, and I've had a few O linemen on the show, and I played O line in high school, so I'm a big O line guy. So that any of the SWAC fans that watch, anytime an O lineman commits, they call me or like, Blue, you got to look at the film, you got to look at the film. But chemistry is what I talk about all the time on the show for offensive line. You can be the biggest, you can have the strongest, a bunch of 5-stars, but if they don't play well together, your offensive line is going to be atrocious. Man. So with you and Evan having some history, what is y'all's relationship like with the other guys who you guys might play with? And just kind of speak to how important is chemistry on the offensive line throughout the season?
Bro, chemistry is everything. Like, chemistry is everything. And like, the one thing I've seen, like, you can stick 5 great players in there, but if they ain't practiced together, played together, and they don't know how to communicate, they're going to go out there and it's going to be missed calls. It's going to be miscommunications, quarterback getting hit and stuff. So chemistry is everything. That's the biggest part of O-line. And I play center, so, I'm kind of the person that's trying to keep that chemistry in order, keep it going. And I feel like, as O-lines get better, if you watch the good O-lines throughout the season, the chemistry gets better and better and better and better. And as the season goes on, you got guys making advanced calls and picking up blitzes and stuff, with no problem because it's a chemistry thing and what the guy next to you is going to do, his tendencies, So, I mean, playing next to Evan, but me and his chemistry, I know that Evan, like, if I'm with him on a double team, I know it's going to be no problem. You know what I mean? Like, I know he going to handle his business. Like, and that's how it is. It's also trusting your brother next to you and knowing, that they're going to handle their job. And that's the biggest part of chemistry at the end of the day. you know, once practice over with, you got to get on the field. You got to trust the man next to you, and you got to ride. But yeah, that's just the guys that's there already. I know it's a lot of different guys, so I'm sure, you know, once I get there, that's gonna be at the forefront, is getting whatever group we do have, whoever is the starters at whatever positioning, finding that chemistry, you know, so we can
And
rock it.
I mean, building off that, how excited are you for that position battle? Because really and truly, you know, Tony Gray's coming back at one of the tackle spots, but there's a bunch of you guys coming in fighting for, you know, the other 4 spots. For you, how excited are you to get into Jackson and fight for one of those 4 positions, man, come next fall?
I mean, I'm very excited, just blessed for the opportunity, really. Thank God for it. But I mean, competition is what fuels me. The year I started, I was in competition with a 5th-year grad transfer senior. And I won that's how I got my starting spot in the 2020 year. So I mean, I'm used to competition. I thrive off of it. You know, I feel like it fuels you to be better, because when you know you got somebody behind you that's good, you can't get complacent and, you know, think the coach is just gonna put up with anything. You know, you got to bring it every day. So I think all competition is going to do is drive the O-line room and make everybody even better. You know what I mean? That's all it's about. You know, you can't, and that's the thing about coming to Jackson. Like, you know, some people were telling me like, oh, you know, they got a lot of guys, this and that, but I'm not the type to shy away from competition. You know, if I'm gonna go against if I got to beat out the best to get in the game, I want to beat out the best, and I want to go against the best at practice too. You know, so I knew it was places I could go in and like, I mean, nobody can give you a starting job, but I knew it was certain places I could go and I'm getting plugged right in, no question. But you know what I'm saying? Competition is, you know, the greatest builder of character, you know. So
I like it, man. And hey, I've already put my vote out there. I said you and Evan are both starting next year, so I put my chips in y'all's basket already on my show, man. Doing the Jackson State recruiting update, so I got big confidence in you guys, man. But last question before we get into getting to know you as a player, man, because I know that's a big thing fans want to do. But the last question here is, how much did the SWAC movement this offseason also influence your decision to come to Jackson State or an HBCU?
man, if it influenced it tremendously. I mean, like I said, once I grew up in New Orleans, so you know, we would Bayou. My family all went to Southern Baton Rouge, Southern New Orleans. So we were Bayou Classic people. You know, I'm a Bayou Classic. We went every year. You know, that was something we did as a family. So I was always exposed to SWAC football. You know, my dad tried to get me into it, but the movement that's going on now, I think it's probably one of the best things the SWAC has had going in a minute. And I think if it's something that could keep going, I think, man, like, this is probably the most even distribution of talent that the country's ever had. I mean, we even talk at FCS, just schools like Sam Houston, Nichols schools like them getting people too. So, I mean, I think college football is in a really good place right now as far as the talent distribution right now. I feel like anybody right now, they can go to any city in the South and see some good football on a Saturday. You know what I mean? See some good players play, whether they go to a P5 game or a FCS game. But yeah, the SWAC movement is definitely you know, it's good. I like where it's going. I think it's going to keep going. I think, you know, I see other schools in the SWAC building up their program, you know, load up and trying to beat Jackson State. So I think Jackson State going to set the ceiling though. Because I feel like we set
Cool.
the ceiling last year. I feel like we're going to keep setting the ceiling for SWAC programs.
I love the confidence. I like that you mentioned the FCS too. I mean, Campbell landed a 4-star flip from Arkansas
Yeah, I
2
saw
days
that.
ago as well. Had a crazy class. They were second to Jackson State yesterday. Never thought I would ever be
Yeah.
saying that on a college football show that Campbell
Campbell,
was
out of
setting the
all the
standard.
schools. Yeah.
It's
Crazy.
crazy. But I know you mentioned, you know, center, you know, you moved to center, you've played some guard. For you right now, is center the most is center the position you feel most comfortable at right now?
Yes, just because I've started 6 games there. Like, you know, I know how it is to go in a game, you know, snap the ball, make the calls, ID the front, all that stuff. So yes, I'm comfortable at center, but I played all interior 3. You know, I was a right guard all my time. So I'm comfortable at any interior 3 position. Center is probably, I say center is the easiest position on the O-line. I tell people that all the
Ooh.
time. I think because, you know, you're not on the island, you got all this help, you got these people next to you, you know. I mean, the only thing is you got to have that snap consistent. And I mean, the calls make themselves. You run about 5 plays a game. The defense run about 5 plays a game. It's not going, you're not making 50 and 60 different calls. So once you get your rules down pat, I think center is the easiest to play.
Oh man, you see, we got different perspectives. I was a tackle, so I always looked at the center like, man, you got to snap it, you got to keep your head up and find it. I always
Man,
thought
y'all on that
tackle.
island out there at tackle,
That's
y'all
true.
on that. And
That's
y'all
true.
got
See,
to run
I
calls
thought
and
the
stuff.
guard. I thought the guard had the easiest job in my opinion. I was like, center's got to snap. We got to pick
Nah,
up the DB.
guard, you get messed up sometimes because the tackle not doing his job.
That's true. And
Got
that's
depend
that
on two people.
chemistry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. I like it, man. But for you, let's get to know you a bit as a player. Who is the NFL player that you think you model your game after the most?
Man, and it's hard because I feel like I'm different. I'm like I started out playing guard. I play center now, but I have like a tackle's wingspan. Like I got measured when the NFL came to UL-M a couple years ago, and I had a 6'11" wingspan.
Oof.
So like I don't know, and I haven't done enough research to say I know what centers or what players in the league have long arms and like play based off that ability. I don't know, but my favorite centers, I just say the Pouncey brothers. I love Eric McCoy for the Saints. I love seeing him run downfield and make blocks. Kelsey with the Eagles, Jason Kelsey definitely. But growing up, I looked at a lot of left tackles like Willie Roaf. My dad, he a big Saints fan, so Willie Roaf was definitely like my dad always used to say, "Go look at Willie Roaf on YouTube." Like, Dad, they don't have no Willie Roaf videos on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, people like that, left tackle, really those guys, Tyron Smith, Trent Williams, going crazy right now. People like I look up to all of those guys. I try to take something great from every player, even if it's small. I'm trying to take something from them.
Oh man, I like it. You said, man, there's no highlights from back in the day on YouTube, man.
Yeah.
But for you, I know when I was playing, I was super. I was very superstitious. I had to listen to a certain thing, wear certain things. But for you, man, what's your pregame routine on game days?
Okay, so I'm trying to let me go back in my mind and visualize. I'm a visual thinker. So like on a ULM game day, let's say we got a 7 o'clock kickoff. So we would have like a breakfast early in the morning, a little chill breakfast. You go to that, and then we have walkthrough, walk through the plays and stuff, go over the looks, special teams and all that. And then after that, we have a break probably. So like a break for a little bit. So usually during my break, I try to watch some kind of football, because it's Saturday. So I try to catch some early games, get myself in that football mindset. On a Saturday, I'm not going over the plays because by then I already know the plays. Like, I'm knowing by game time. So like Saturday, I'll probably watch a little football and then it'll be time to go back up to the stadium around like 3 or 4 o'clock. And then by that time, you got your pregame meal, which ULM, it was always the same. I always used to get the same thing. It would be chicken breast and spaghetti. So I'm kind of superstitious with that. I always eat fruit or something, do the pregame meal, and then more time to chill, just sitting there. Then we wait, we put on our suits, we go do our little Warhawk walk, and then after that, I mean, I'm the first person getting taped. I know that's something I always do. Like before I even take my suit pants off from the walk, I'm in there getting taped. So I get taped first. Put my cleats on, all that, go back and get spatted. And then once I'm spatted, I go out, I do my own stretches, I get a few snaps done. And then by that time, you know how it works as a center. Well, if you play center on the college level, the centers go out first. So centers, quarterbacks, returners, usually the first ones out. So that's kind of how my game is. I try to sneak some music in here and there because I'm like moving because, I'm getting taped. I'm going here and there. I got to go out with centers to snap to the quarterbacks. Then we go back inside. So, but usually I try to sneak in some music, listen to some Young Boys, some Boosie, some Webby, get me hyped up, whatever. But
I like it. I like you said. So I got to be first. So you got to tell those Jackson State guys, listen, there's a line behind me. I got to get taped first on Saturdays, man.
rest to that tape table because it get packed.
I, I understand, man. So without giving away all your secrets, what's the number one mistake a defensive lineman can make against you?
The number one mistake. Shoot, I'll give him a great try. Like I'll give not even a great try. I'll give him if you back up off the ball, just I'm trying to think. If you back up off the ball, like if I was anybody going against me, I would tell them to crowd the hell out of the ball. That's what I would tell them. Because I'm a big, long center, so like I'm gonna have to move in a tighter space. That's what I would tell them to do. You know what I'm saying? But D linemen, like the good thing about playing center is here is I got a chance to be behind a really good center. So like, I mean, I'm just a learner. So like, I'm trying to think what is something that just really gets me, at center. I mean, maybe like a linebacker, like, blitzing and crossing my face or something the other way, and I gotta hurry up and try to get back that way. But I mean, I would say the hardest D lineman to block, though, this is what I'll be honest to say. When I see a short, stocky dude that's about 5'11" from the ground, 6 foot, and he like 330, and like, I'm not talking about one of those lazy guys. I'm talking about one that can really hold his ground. That's the hardest guys to block in the first couple plays. But then you wear them down. You wear them down, and by drive 3, they switching out. And so I mean, I would say that those short, stocky guys are always hard to play.
Oh man, they always weigh like 300 pounds, and you're like, man, this dude is just a wall in the
Mhm.
middle, man. So it's always those type of guys, man. But for you, I know I was really bad when I was playing, especially the offensive line and defensive line are different because you're going up against the same guy over and over and over, and you're right in each other's face all game. It gets a little heated. So how big of a trash talker are you during the game?
I'm not. I mean, when you playing center, you got to be locked in. So like, you can't, like, you barely have time to talk trash. Like, me and Evan tried it already. Like, it's hard. It's hard. He talking. I'm trying to talk with him and talk. You know what I'm saying? But it don't work when you playing center. You got to get to the ball. You got to get lined up. You got to make them calls. If I'm taking time talking trash, we losing valuable time off the clock. We could be scoring, or catching a defense off guard, lining up quick and running another play. So I try not to talk trash during the game. I mean, there's nothing somebody really can say to me to get in my head, because I know who I am. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you can say something on the field, but it's football. We got helmets on, we got pads on protecting us. Like, nobody here is tough right now. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I've never been the type to trash talk, but yeah, but we didn't talk trash on the field. Definitely me and Evan to other people.
Hey, we got the dynamic Jackson State duo coming to town, man. I'm excited to see
Yeah.
you and Evan's dynamic on the offensive line, man. But I think I know the answer to this based on earlier. But which SWAC team are you looking forward to playing this season?
Oh, that's a tough one, man. Cause I feel like, man, it's so many big games. Like, it's just the biggest thing. Cause coming from ULM is like, you got UL as your rivalry game, and that's really it. You know, so like, every game, like, I mean, Alcorn, that's a big game. Grambling, that's gonna be a big game. I mean, even though we kicking it off of FAMU, week 1 is big. Like, Southern is gonna be big because I had a lot of family that went there. So I say, I hope no, we're not gonna go down to Baton Rouge this year because they went down last year, but
Yeah.
or they got that Legion Field contract anyway. But man, I would really love to go down to Baton Rouge and beat Southern, or even go down to Grambling and beat Grambling too. But I'm probably gonna be most excited for that Alcorn game. I think that's really what I'm looking forward to, because that game looked like it was rocking last year. So I'm
It
ready for
def
that.
it definitely was, and I got it on my checklist, man. So the Southern game in Jackson and the Jackson game in Lorman against Alcorn are the two that I'm looking forward to getting down there for, man. But looking at your goals for this season, man, what are some of your personal goals for the 2022 season?
For the 2022 season is just to be I want to be the most consistent player that I can be. I want my coaches and my teammates to be able to depend on me. I want them to say, like, when we got Zach in the game, we don't have to worry about nothing, as far as calls and, getting the offense going and, protecting Shador and stuff. I want to be the best center in the SWAC. That's something I personally challenge myself to. Only accolade I ever got was all state in high school. I never got all district or metro or anything like that. So, I mean, I'm not really accolade driven. I feel like, it's more about who you impact and stuff than the accolades. But I want a first team all SWAC. I want to be a first team all SWAC player. I think I got the ability, and if I get coached right and I work as hard as I can, I think I can do that. First team all SWAC, be consistent, and win a SWAC championship, and win a national championship too, which they missed out on at the end, and they were pretty close to. But that's my goals, man. I think being here, I know they can be accomplished.
I like it, man. I like the ambition, man. But last question here, and I always like asking this question as the last one on all my interviews, man. But what keeps you motivated year in and year out, despite being now at Jackson, good, probably fighting for that SWAC championship and everything that you're going to earn this year. What keeps you going day in and day out?
That's family, man. Like that's the only reason you do all of this stuff as a family, really family, and finding my purpose. That's really what drives me because like football is a young man's game. One day it's gonna be something that either I'm not gonna be able to play, I'm not gonna have the physical ability to play no more. So what keep me going and like what kept me motivated to come to Jackson State and finish out 2 more years is that like it's not something that's always gonna be here. I'm gonna be 21 years old only once in my life. I'm gonna have the chance to play football only one time in my life. So I'm gonna take advantage of the opportunity right now. But really just family and just using the blessings that God gave me. I'm a big dude. I mean, I'm gonna have years to be a big dude in the office or working somewhere. So right now I want to be a big dude on the football field and move some bodies and stuff. So
I I like it, man.
mhm.
I really do. But man, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I know people are going to be very, very supportive of this. Really looking forward to what you do down there in Jackson, man. But this time is yours, man. Where can they find you on social media? Any shout outs you want to give? Anything you want to plug, man? This time is yours.
Oh man, this is great. I mean, well, just follow me on Instagram at ZLB_77. But I mean, other than that, bro, I'm gonna be posting stuff on there, man. Just the people I post, that's the people I like to promote. That's my friends who have various talents. One of my best friends is a photographer I played O-line with. I got a lot of friends that do clothes. So, if you follow me on my page, just stick close to my page. I'm always promoting my friends, and they always got good products and they got good business, barbers, clothes, girls that do hair, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm always trying to promote people. So just stick to my social media, you're gonna see me there and we're gonna be ready. Come whenever we play FAMU.
I like it, man. I like it, man. It's all the road to Miami, man. Good luck in spring ball. I'm definitely going to be keeping up with your journey through Jackson State this year, man. And we'll have to get you back on the show, man, after you guys are SWAC and Celebration
Hey,
Bowl champs,
that's what I was
man.
about to say. After we got the interview set up, we're gonna set the date after the SWAC and
I'll
Celebration Bowl, baby.
all for sure, man. For sure, man. Anytime you want to come on, man, hit me up and we'll get you on here, man. But guys, go follow Zach on all social media, man. It's all about supporting the players, especially at the FCS level where so many athletes are overlooked, man. That's why we put on these interviews for the FCS. And also make sure to follow his journey, man, at Jackson State. I know you guys are going to be rowdy for him down there in the vet. But guys, for Zach, myself, and the Blue Bloods, we are out for right now.
All right.